It is a gorgeous day, and I'm sitting on a park bench in Central Park, and I have this question for you. How much or how many of your life decisions have been based on what you think is true or real, what you have learned perhaps from your teachers and your mentors that you think is truthful, and how much is really just based on what everyone else is doing? And I'm asking this question because in this week's Parsha, after God wipes out all of humanity in this terrible flood, and Noah and his family are saved, Noah reacts in a very strange way. He builds a vineyard, he grows grapes, and he gets drunk. And he's in this very compromised, embarrassing situation. He's disrobed, he's drunk, and at least Shem and Yefet, two of the three of his sons, deal with the situation, I guess, appropriately. They take a garment, they try to clothe, they try to cover their father's nakedness. But it's interesting, the language that's used is vayikach, and he took. He took this garment and clothed his father. But we know that it was two of the three sons. It was two people. It was Shem and Yefet. And that's a plural. So it should be vayikchu, not vayikach. The language of the Torah should be in the plural, which is vayikchu and not the singular vayikach. And Rashi explains, the great biblical commentator, that it was really just Shem who took the garment, covered his father, and Yefet sort of came along for the ride. Yefet saw what Shem was doing, and he copied him, which I guess is good. It's good to copy, other people's behavior. But Rabbi Soloveitchik has a beautiful explanation, and he says that really Shem and Yefet represent two different ways of doing things in life. One is out of ethic, and the other one's etiquette. Shem covered his father's nakedness because he realized it was the right thing to do, to protect the dignity of his father in this compromising situation. Right? Yefet comes along and he grabs onto it and he does it with his brother, not because it was the right thing. If it was the right thing, he would have done it himself. But because he sees someone else doing it, so he copies. And it's interesting, the Talmud teaches that the descendants of Shem, the Jewish people, get the reward of tzitzis versus the descendants of Yefet, who are supposed to be the Greeks, get the reward of kavura, burial. Tzitzis versus burial. So Rabbi Soloveitchik explains very powerfully, because burial is the ultimate in the way something looks. Right? We bury the dead because it just wouldn't look dignified to leave a body there. We're concerned about what other people are going to say. The next of kin, you just let the body lie there. Tzitzis are worn underneath one's garment. We're wearing tzitzit. I'm wearing tzitzis now underneath my shirt because I'm not doing it because of what everyone else will say. Nobody knows. Nobody sees I'm wearing tzitzis. I'm doing it because it's my internal moral compass within me that I'm following as to what is the right thing to do. Of course, we get that moral compass from the Torah, and the tzitzis are supposed to remind us of that. But I'm not looking around at the rest of society, the rest of the world, and saying, what is everyone else doing? I'll copy them. That's what Yefet did. That's what the Greeks were known for, aesthetics, the way things looked on the outside. But we are the descendants of Shem. And we are supposed to act not because of what everyone else is saying and doing, but what we know to be correct and true from our Torah. And that is my bracha to you and to all of us, is that when we make that next decision in life, ask yourself, what is the basis for making the decision? Am I just doing this? Am I picking this job? Am I acting this way in this situation because that's what everyone else says? That's what everyone else does. This is the way everybody else speaks or dresses. Or am I speaking, dressing, and acting in a way that I really believe internally, based on truths, higher truths we believe from the Torah, are really correct, acceptable, and ethical? I want to behave because it's the right thing, not because that's what everyone else is doing. Shabbat Shalom.